I have made a commitment, and you've heard the Speaker of Senate say, we did agree that public participation is not a sterile provision of the Constitution. It must amount to something. And it is the reason why we've been grappling as a nation, how do we actualize public participation? We are now working on legislation, as you've heard. In a couple of months, we should now have a framework that contextualizes, creates a framework for citizens to meaningfully participate in enacting policy, enacting legislation, and every act of government that requires the public to participate in. That is number one. Number two, we have now work at the Attorney General's office, and I want to ask the civil society who are present here to work with the Attorney General as we improve 3 pieces of legislation. Number one, improve legislation on Evidence Act so that we can deal with matters corruption in the shortest time possible. Improve legislation on e-procurement and make government procurement open, including making sure that it is in the public domain which contracts have been awarded, for how much money, to which companies. And so that the public can judge for themselves whether they are getting value for money or they are being taken for a ride. I have made that commitment. The work is in the Attorney General's office. I welcome Zalendo. I welcome all the other civil society groups to participate in bringing this legislation to the fore. And I'm very happy with this framework because the civil society that is present here would have chosen to come here with vuvuzela and placards. But they have chosen...
Sometimes they might still have to do that.
but they've come here to say, okay, what are the challenges that we have? How do we meaningfully contribute, institutionalize the solutions rather than ponder on the problems, on the challenges? How do we institutionalize solutions? How do we bring legislation? How do we create institutions? How do we put a policy framework in place? And you have said yourself, it's easy to pontificate about the challenges we have.
Yeah.
It is difficult to frame the solutions. I am very happy with open government partnership. It gives us an opportunity with the judiciary, with the legislature, with the executive, with civil society, with the private sector, to figure out how we solve problems together. And this is why I believe in this framework.